Steve Gamache with the Chef Knives to Go quick look product video on the Masakage Koishi Nakiri 165mm knife. This line of knives is composed of a core steel of Aogami Blue Super carbon steel, and the heat treat rating is appropriate for a Aogami Super at 63 to 65. So it's a very hard steel. And the construction is stainless steel cladding over the top of that Aogami Super core. So you can see the core steel exposed at the edge with the grind. This particular one has a kurouchi or blacksmith finish, and it's also got a tsushimi finish, which is a hand-hammered finish. So there are hammer marks here as well. It's a little hard to tell, but hopefully you can see those hammer marks. This knife has definitely a more of a matte feel to it in the design, so it's a little bit more of a textured finish to it. The weight on this knife is 5.7 ounces. The Koishis are not as light as some of the other lines of Masakage. They have a more substantial feel to them. The weight is about 5.7, as I just stated. The blade length is about 165, 6.5 inches. Overall length, 12.5. Spine at the base, 3.35 millimeters. Keep in mind that's up here, and then that tapers down quite a bit, and then kind of just maintains that as a Nakiri normally does. The blade height, this is a very tall Nakiri. These are among the highest, or I should say the tallest Nakiris on Mark's site, 59 millimeters. The dimensions between this and the, I would assume the Yuki's pretty close to this, but this one and the Shimo are very, very close in dimension. This knife does have a larger neck area, as does the Yuki, than the Shimo, if that's of interest to you. It's a little thinner right here. It's definitely gives you more room to put your finger there for a pinch grip. The handle on this is an octagonal, really nicely done octagonal cherry wood with a black packerwood ferrule. This cherry wood is just a really nice material for a handle. And it's about the standard 3 inches, 76 millimeters in circumference, measured right here at the ferrule, which is the way I do them. The knife does have hand-chiseled kanji on it, if you can see that. And the edge on this, as far as the profile goes, is pretty flat, as many Nakiris are. And the blade is pretty thin. It's not going to be quite as thin as, let's say, a Shimo at the edge, but it's pretty thin as well. Slightly more substantial feel. It's a little bit heavier, as I said, than the Shimo. Fit and finish is great, as all Masakages that I've handled have exhibited. Really nicely done, rounded, relieved choil, neck area, and spine. So it's very comfortable right out of the box. So if you like tall Nakiris, the Masakage lines are tall, and they all have fairly similar characteristics as far as size goes. Pretty much what kind of steel and what weight do you want. Balance point on this is a little further forward because of the lighter handle and the heavier blade. Right about there, maybe just slightly forward of a pinch grip, but pretty close, depending on your hand. And so there you have just a great knife, the Masakage Koishi Nakiri 165.